When I lost what every man can lose, I used to have printing machines as far back as 1980 with an American white girl as my manager. After the Greater Lagos for Christ Crusade, where we had 5,000 choristers, 1,500 ushers, 23,000 prayer volunteers, and 54 denominations coming together to harness and husband the resources of Christians in Lagos and declare Lagos a mission field for Christ. I hired 80 motorway buses. The drivers were paid twice their normal allowance. So if you were not coming to that program, they will not pick you. All those who came after 6 p.m. could not find where to sit. And I was on 1 month fast, which I did for 15 years, that God may reveal himself to me, that God may make me a creator of my circumstances, not a victim, that God may grant me kingly anointing, that God may grant me an insightful prophetic revelational knowledge of the Bible, that God may become my close friend. 2 weeks after, we were sleeping in one room, my wife and I, and God said to me, I'm going to test you to know why you love me. In that test, some people will die. And I said to God, let everybody die, but don't let my wife be amongst them. I have a traveling ministry. She's a pillar of the family and the ministry. If you remove her, everything will collapse. I begged God to change that proposal. He refused. So on the 12th day of September 1985, 5 a.m., Armed robbers came to my office, removed every equipment, every furniture in the office. And God said to me, everything they have removed from your office be given to them as a gift. Don't fight any of them. I am the hand behind what is happening. I said to God, that's not how we operate in Nigeria. When somebody robs you and you have influential friends, you call them to fight for you. And God said, no. Unless I approve, nobody can lay his hands on you. So I told my wife, this may be the day God was talking about. You drive one car, I'll drive the other car. And my wife said, no, I am pregnant. And we'll have a driver paid to drive. Let him drive. The driver drove into a river on my way to my village. And the car somersaulted in the air and went into the river with the roof and the 4 tires up. With my 2 children in that car and my 2 cousins also. When I dived in to bring the children out, my wife also dived in. She doesn't know how to swim. I grew up in Ogoni. She grew up in Ogoja. As she was drowning, she had sunk 6 times, leaving only 1 more time. They called me and said, your wife is drowning behind you. So I abandoned the children and turned to her. Used 1 hand to carry her, 1 hand to swim, and brought her to the shore. I later went back and brought the children out, put them in a car to take them to where I could pray for them or give them medical attention. A car from the opposite direction drove into the car I was driving. The bumper flew out. The bonnet flew out. A young man who came in a bus stopped and said to me, Reverend, the bus that carries your musicians caught fire. We're not sure how many are alive. The same day. I remember God said to me, on that day I will not answer your prayer. I want to test you. So I said to my wife, there's nothing we can do. God had already overruled, so let's go. But the next morning I went to preach. Reverend Obasi, an in-law to Dr. Wakama. I didn't know how he got to the church. He said, "You're not emotionally fit to pray or preach that morning." And I told him, "You are wrong, sir. Every one of us will go over to the other side of life. No man is allowed to remain on the sunny side of life." Jesus said to his disciples, "Go over to the other side." And they ran into a storm. Not because they committed fornication or they stole. No. It is the way God runs this life. That a day will come to every one of us where midday will become midnight. Where health will collapse. Where marriage will collapse. But we must learn how to say what Job said. Job said, "He who gave has taken. Glory be to his name." He said, "I went to the left-hand side where I used to see him, God. He was not there. I turned to the right, he was not there. But he knows the way that I now take. When he has tried me, I shall come forth like gold." In 1986, while I was preparing for Greater Ibadan for Christ Crusade with 6,000 first choir, God said to me, "For handling that accident well, I'll now give you an anointing that will attract 100 angels to go wherever you go. And whatever you open your mouth to say, I shall do it."